Hello everyone, welcome to ECD Academy YouTube channel. The training we provide for Topography SERU and B1 English Language Assessment for TFL PCO license. So we provide both online and offline training, so you can attend the lectures from your home sitting on your own computer. You don't have to travel all the way from your house to our office. And we are providing free mock test for everyone, and we are open 24/7. You can call us and get our services anytime. So today we're gonna discuss about SERU section 1. So let's jump into today's topic. So today we're going to discuss about a very important topic of SERU assessment, which is SERU section 1 for London PHV drivers. So let's jump into today's topic. So guys, today we're going to discuss about SERU assessment section 1, which is on London PHV driver licensing. So let's start. So what you need to know. To work as a PHV driver, you will need to be licensed by TFL. Only then you can carry out bookings for a London private hire operator that is also licensed by TFL. It means to work as a minicab driver or PHV driver, you need to have a license which will be authorized by TFL. And while carrying out bookings, you will be taking the bookings from a private hire operator which will also be licensed by TFL. Okay. When you get your license to work as a London PHV driver, there are a number of rules and policies that you need to know about. This section sets out some of the rules and policies and explains what you need to do. So, pre-licensing requirements. To get a license, you must be age 21 or older when you apply for your license, and there is no upper age limit. So remember this one. You have to be at least 21 years old when you are applying for your license, and not less than that. Okay, and no upper age limit as well. So you must have a full DVLA, Northern Ireland, European Union, European Economic Area, state driving license that is at least 3 years old. If it's less than 3 years old, then it's not gonna be counted. Okay. So you must have the right to live and work in the UK, or else you will not be able to work or not even live here. So you must be a fit and proper person to hold a license. You will need to have an enhanced criminal record check done by Disclosure Bearing Service, which is called DBS in short form. So you must be physically fit. This will mean that you will need to have a medical examination with a doctor who has access to all of your medical records. So the medical requirements are that you need to meet is DVLA Group 2 medical standard. Okay, so what's the medical standard that you need to meet? It's DVLA Group 2. So private hire driver's license. Your license may have some conditions attached to it. For example, you have a medical condition, you may be required to have extra medical check. Any conditions added to your license will be explained in the letter sent to you with your license. It's very important that you keep that letter and comply with any of the conditions that come with your license. If you do not, then your license may be revoked. So it's very, very important to keep the letter safe and read it properly and understand it properly. Okay. As soon as you're licensed, it's important that you keep in contact with us and respond to any letters, emails, or other form of communication. Here us means TFL. So if you get your license, and you have to keep in touch with TFL, like any sort of communication. It can be email, phone call, text message, or it can be a letter. So be responsive to those. Your London PHV driver's license normally lasts for 3 years. If it's for a shorter period, the letter that comes with the license will explain why. Copies of your license. So you should keep your license at home in a safe place and give a copy of it to any licensed PHV operator that you will be working with. So the PHV operators you work with must keep copies of your PHV driver's license and your DVLA or European Union or European Economic Area driving license as well. So license check. Suppose if a police officer or a TFL authorized officer asks you to see your license, then you have to let them see it there and then or within a maximum of 7 days. Suppose they ask and you have to show it instantly. If you don't have your license, then you have to show them within 7 days. So licensing conditions. The letter that comes with your license contains important information about your responsibilities as a London PHV driver, including any condition you must meet. It's important that you read this letter carefully and make sure you understand it. Okay, so if there are any conditions on your license which require you to provide TFL with information, for example, if you need to provide further medical information, then TFL may write to you to remind you that the information is important. Okay, so you have to be careful about all the licensing conditions. So your PHV driver's badge displays your name, photograph, license number, and date of your license period ends. So remember, your operator must give the passengers your name, photograph, and vehicle details as well, so that they can confirm that they are riding with appropriate person. This means that the passenger can check this information against your badge. Okay, when you get your license, you will also receive a PHV driver's badge, which is also known as photographic badge, and that is the badge that we were talking about. So you must wear this badge at all times when you are working as a PHV driver, including when you are waiting to receive a booking or traveling to pick up a passenger. So suppose you started from home or from your workplace to receive a passenger, so you have to wear your badge, and you're waiting for a passenger. That suppose in a hotel you're waiting for the passenger outside of the hotel in your vehicle, and the passenger is coming down, then also you will have to wear the badge while waiting for them. Okay, so when you wear it, you must make it sure that they can clearly be seen by other people. If people can't see it or the passengers can't see it properly, then there is no meaning of wearing that one. So you have to be careful about that. So this applies to all PHV drivers unless we given you special permission not to. So this special permission is called exemption. It means we will give you a certificate or a notice that you don't have to carry it with you, but in that case you must the exemption notice with you all the times when you're working as a PHV driver, in case if we give you any exemption of not wearing your photographic badge. So if a passenger asks for your license number, you should let them see it, your badge, so that they can write the number down. Okay, so the badge includes text in braille. So what is braille? Braille is a kind of text which is a dotted text for the people who cannot see. So the text in braille, which means visually impaired person can know that you are licensed. Okay, so your PHV driver's badge. Remember, the badge is only for you to use only. You must not allow any other person to use it to carry out bookings. Only you can use that one for carrying out bookings and no one. So lost PHV driver's badge and license. If you lose your PHV driver's badge or license, or somebody steals it, report it immediately to TFL. If your badge has been stolen, you should also report it to the TFL and get a crime reference number for them. Without your badge, you cannot work as a PHV driver. Okay, so TFL will replace your lost or stolen badge or license. However, if you find your original badge or license, you must return it to TFL. So your badge and license are the property of TFL at all times, including when they have passed their expiry date. So you must return them when they pass the expiry date, or when you are no longer licensed, you have to return them to TFL at any cost. Okay, so let's talk about medical conditions now. To get your license to be a PHV driver, you must be medically fit. The standards you must meet are the DVLA Group 2 medical standard, as we spoke before. So in most cases, this will mean that you will need to have a medical examination with someone who has a medical access to your full medical records. So you may be exempt from supplying a medical form if you have a full or provisional DVLA Group 2 license which is issued after 1997 January. So remember, if you have a full or provisional DVLA Group 2 license which was issued after January 1997, you will not have to supply a medical form. So if you have a current London taxi driver license, you don't have to. Then if you have a valid current past pilot's license issued by Joint Aviation Authorities, then also you will not have to supply a medical form. Okay, so medical conditions. TFL will remind you when a medical examination is due and send you the form you need. Okay, so you are responsible for making sure that a doctor completes the form with all the required information about your health and for returning the form to TFL. If you have an existing medical condition, extra medical examinations may be needed. If you do not send TFL all this necessary information, you might not get your license. So you have to be careful about this medical examinations, the forms, sending the forms, filling up the forms by the doctor, everything. So let's talk about two very important issues here. So from the age 45, PHV drivers must have a medical examination each time they apply to renew their license. And from age 65, the PHV drivers must have a medical assessment every year. So if you are over 45 or over, you have to go through the medical assessment every time you renew your license. And if you are 65 or over, then you have to go through for it every year. Okay, so you should tell TFL immediately if between medical examinations you develop a new medical condition that may affect your ability to drive. Some examples of the medical conditions you should let TFL know about includes diabetes, epilepsy, poor eyesight, or any other eye conditions that affecting your sight you will not be able to drive then, or heart conditions, or you can say high blood pressure, neurological condition including strokes, and prescription medication that may affect your ability to drive, or psychiatric illness, any condition which the DVLA requires you to report. So if you have these things or you discover these things in between your medical examination going on, then you have to inform TFL as early as you can. So if you're not sure whether to tell TFL, you should contact TFL for advice. The DVLA frequently updates its medical standards, so TFL recommends that you check with the DVLA if you develop any new medical condition. So you have to keep checking and looking if everything is fine or not. Okay. So change of address. It's important that TFL has your correct home address and email address so that you can be contacted with any information about your license. If you change your home address, you should tell TFL within 21 days. You are also required by the law to tell DVLA if you change your address. You will then get a new driving license with your new address on it. Details of how to do this are on the back of your DVLA license. So the thing is, if you change your address, you have to inform them within 21 days of changing the address. And the second thing is, you have to inform DVLA if you change your address so that they can send you a new license with your current address. Okay, so you should also tell us about any change to your email address or telephone number. This is important so TFL can keep you informed of any changes to the regulations to do with how PHV and PHV drivers are licensed, as well as news and events that could affect your job. So the address on your PHV license should be same as home address on your DVLA license. That is very, very important. If it's different, then it's gonna be a problem for you. So other changes in personal circumstances. As a licensed PHV driver, you must tell TFL immediately if your personal circumstances changes. So this includes if you have broken the law and have been disqualified from driving. Please note that you will also have to return your London PHV driver's license and badge to TFL. Okay. So if you are the subject of a mental health order or sexual offense order, then you will have to inform TFL immediately. If you're on either the adults or the children's bed list, then also you'll have to inform them immediately. If you have a private hire or taxi driver's license with another licensing authority and that authority has suspended or revoked your license or refused any application you have made. So suppose you have taxi driver's license with another licensing authority, and they have suspended your current license or they revoked your license, and when you applied for a new one they refuse to give you a new one, so you have to inform TFL as soon as you can. So conviction, cautions and arrest. So you must tell TFL immediately if you are arrested, charged with, convicted or cautioned for any crime. This includes any fixed penalty notice or road traffic offense that result in penalty points in your driving license, and you're responsible for telling TFL about any offenses you have committed. Do not rely on the police informing TFL. So if you fail to tell TFL about a conviction, you could have your license revoked, so be careful about that thing. So other fixed penalties, parking tickets and PCNs. So you do not need to tell TFL about any other penalty charges, notices or parking tickets that do not result in penalty points on your driving license. So as long as you don't get any penalty points or any tickets that doesn't convert it into penalty points, you don't have to worry about telling TFL. Okay, so however, if TFL becomes aware that you are getting frequent PCNs or like penalty charge notices or parking tickets, TFL may take licensing actions against you. So this is because TFL expects all licensed drivers to behave responsibly. So right to live and work in the United Kingdom. If there are restrictions on a driver's right to live and work in the UK, TFL will add an appropriate condition on the license. If you are in the situation, you should make sure you comply with these conditions and make sure you have a continuing right to work. So in particular, if you are in the UK on a student visa, you will only be allowed to work for a limited number of hours each week and will not be allowed to be self-employed. Okay, so you cannot be self-employed, you cannot work more than a specific hour if you are a student visa in the UK. So complaints. If TFL receives a complaint about you or becomes aware of any behavior that is not satisfactory, TFL may write to you with the details and ask for your comments. It's important that you respond to TFL's request. TFL can only make licensing decisions based on the information that they receive. So suspending and revoking a PHV driver's license. If for any reason your license is revoked, you must tell. If for any reason your license is revoked, you must return your license to TFL within 7 days. If you do not, or your license has been suspended or revoked with immediate effect, TFL may send an authorized officer to take it from you. So if you don't return it to them, so they will send someone to take it back from you. Okay, so revoking a driver's private hire vehicle license. So what is this about? This is about revoking a driver's vehicle's license as well with the driver's license. So if your PHV driver's license is suspended or revoked and you are the owner of a licensed private hire vehicle, TFL may make the decision to revoke the vehicle license as well. So TFL will only consider doing this if there is any risk to public safety. Okay, so why TFL will revoke your vehicle's license as well? If your vehicle's is become the subject to any public risk, they might revoke your vehicle's license as well. So for example, if there is an evidence that your vehicle could be used as a PHV by someone without a PHV driver's license, or if a driver has been charged with or convicted of a serious violent sexual offense, then they might revoke your vehicle license as well. So disclosure and bearing services. So as a part of application process, you must have an enhanced criminal records check. The check should be done by disclosure and bearing service, which is called DBS. So what does they do? So the DBS is a public body that does check on people's background. The checks will show any conviction, cautions or reprimands and final warnings you have had. Okay, so the checks will also show if the local police have any information that is relevant to your working as a PHV driver, and if you are on a list of people who are prevented from working with vulnerable groups. So TFL uses a separate company to arrange DBS checks for applicants. So you must use this company to get your DBS certificate. Further details are on TFL's website. So thank you very much for watching the video. Hope you guys like it. To watch more videos like this, you can subscribe our channel, you can like the video, or you can comment as well for any suggestion. So see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.